Support WrestleTalk!
Share this video on social media.
Thanks for your awesome support on Patreon, the Kessel Run DX Solo. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk Mecha News. I'm Luke Owen. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Just stay home today and watch wrestling. Don't even think about going to the woods to have premarital sex or smoke a bit of the old wacky backy, as you will just find yourself inside a sleeping bag being whacked against someone else in a sleeping bag. Wait, wasn't that the one in space? And you can stay safe by subscribing to this channel, pressing the thumbs up button, and leaving a comment down below to answer our question of the day. Which wrestler would you have on your side to survive your own personal Friday the 13th? We've got a packed show of news for you today, including a potential spoiler for this Sunday's Clash of Champions, every company looking to sign Cain Velasquez, and a top indie star possibly signing with Impact Wrestling. You can jump to any of those news stories using the timestamps in the video description, but first, we are now just 6 days away from the WrestleTalk magazine being available in shops, which features this month's cover star AEW World Champion Chris Jericho. And you can pick up all our previous issues for just 15 quid plus postage and packaging using the link in the video description down below. Or perhaps you could pick up a copy at Wrestlegate Pro's Gate of Honor show on October 5th in Nottingham, where Ollie Davis and I will be doing a live Wrestle Ramble podcast. I have no idea who that dashing man with a very convincing comb over is, though. Not only will the show include Lucas Steele versus Rampage Brown for the inaugural Wrestlegate Pro Heavyweight Championship, and WrestleTalk Scholarship winner Callum Newman taking on Scotty Davis in the quarterfinals of the Open Gate Championship tournament, but we can now exclusively announce that NIC will take on Pretty Deadly, which will also be taped for a future episode of our new show, WrestleTalk Showcase. Get your tickets for the show using the link in the video description down below. This is Session Moth Martina, one of the most popular wrestlers on the British wrestling scene and the queen of session style, who has won championships in promotions like ICW and OTT and is the proud holder of the fact that everyone fancies Martina. We even have this cute little figure of Martina here in the studio. But for all her accomplishments, Session Moth has only ever had one dream in her life: to have John Cena follow her on Twitter. Even wrestling fans have asked John Cena to follow her back, but Big Match John wouldn't be Big Follow Back John. Even when Cena had that weird day where he started following everyone on Twitter, even no-name minor celebrities with literally nothing important to say, he still wouldn't follow Session Moth. But now, the boyhood dream has come true for Martina. Posting on Twitter, he said never give up, and I didn't. I guess it's officially true. John Cena fancies Martina. Hashtag greatest day of my life, with a picture of John Cena following her back on Twitter. It truly has been one of the greatest wrestling stories of 2019. And like a true professional, Martina used this achievement to push her new t-shirt. And that wasn't the only bit of Session Moth news this week, as it's been reported that Martina has signed with Ring of Honor for their Women of Honor division. Martina actually had a tryout for NXT UK earlier this year, with many speculating that's where the Queen of Session style would end up. But it's rumored she turned down the offer in order to instead work with ROH, which would allow her to still do her European indie dates as well as continue to work for Stardom in Japan. And it's not just Session Moth Martina who is currently in demand in the wrestling world. Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez made his professional wrestling debut last month at AAA's Triple Mania, where he teamed with Cody Rhodes and Psycho Clown in a 6-man tag which garnered positive reviews from fans and critics alike. And with his popularity and recognizable name from the world of mixed martial arts, it should come as no surprise that everyone in the wrestling world is trying to sign him. Dave Meltzer writes that he's been approached by WWE, who he did a 1-week camp with last year, and AEW since his debut came at Triple Mania with the top AEW stars on the show and Cody teaming with him. Also noting that he's had discussions with New Japan about doing some matches there. Velasquez himself confirmed these rumors, telling Ariel Helwani, "We've been in talks with WWE, they're going pretty good." He said of AEW, "I want to talk to Cody a little more. I think they're doing great things. Now that I've started watching a little more pro wrestling, I think AEW is doing some really cool things, and they have a good relationship with Triple AAA as well. So they have a lot of guys going to AAA and back to AEW, and AEW too does a lot of, like, lucha stuff, you know? Ah, the Kalista school of lucha. And maybe Impact Wrestling could throw their hats into the ring in getting Velasquez on their show. Following the rumor that Impact's parent company Anthem were in talks to purchase Ring of Honor, the company announced yesterday that they would be moving from their home on Pursuit to the way better channel AXS, which Anthem now own. AXS's press release reiterates that the show will air on their channel following Bound for Glory, as well as Impact's Twitch channel, but doesn't say what day it's going to air on. So one would presume this means that Impact are keeping their Friday air date. But then there's a question over the start time of 10 p.m. If you want to move it into a prime time position to get more viewers, Impact will be going head to head with WWE SmackDown on Fox. And even if they stay at 10 p.m., they could still compete with 1 hour of that show if the rumors of Fox bumping SmackDown to 3 hours prove to be true. And following the news that Impact had signed Tennille Dashwood until Bound for Glory in October, as well as former WWF Attitude Era star Ken Shamrock, it's being reported they may have one of the biggest members on the independent scene signed to a deal. Biggest member of the independent scene the biggest member of the independent scene. Dave Meltzer has written in the latest Wrestling Observer that Joey Ryan was backstage at Impact's latest set of tapings in Las Vegas filming stuff for the promotion. Meltzer notes that he's spoken to a few indie promotions who have said that Ryan was cutting back on dates due to signing with Impact. As Meltzer notes, this doesn't mean that Ryan will be exclusive to Impact Wrestling, and he'll still be able to work anywhere he wants apart from WWE, AEW, and Ring of Honor. But that list may grow if the WWE network has anything to say about it. It's been rumored for the last few years now that a new pricing tier version of the WWE Network would be coming into effect. While unconfirmed, it was believed that some tiers would give you access to pay-per-views, while some would only give you access to a certain amount of archive, while the highest price point would get you everything you get now, as well as access to independent promotion shows. And according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, these changes are set to come in January 2020. According to Johnson, WWE have been reaching out to independent companies about their potential interest in appearing on the network, which would include their partnership groups like Progress, ICW, Evolve, OTT, and WXW. And Johnson adds that WWE have even reached out to Chikara and even some Mexican wrestling promotions. It's the latest in what appears to be a big shakeup in WWE, with it being reported last week that writers were being moved around, and WrestleVote's recent report that the commentary teams might also be shaken up when SmackDown moves to Fox. Seemingly having fun with all of this, Corey Graves tweeted yesterday, just to clear up all of the rumors I see swirling around about the commentary changes in WWE, I'm retiring.
Stop, don't come back.
I'm just kidding, obviously, I do like Corey Graves. He later added that he was instead retiring the jacket he wore on SmackDown this week. However, it clearly prompted a few people to reach out to WrestleVote to see if Graves really was stepping down, which they responded by saying Corey Graves is not retiring. However, the plan as of Tuesday was that he is moving to Fox alongside Michael Cole, and he will only appear on SmackDown. No more double duty for Graves, which would suggest that WWE really are gearing up to make SmackDown their A show over Raw for the first time in history, moving over their lead commentator and best color commentator to the blue brand, as well as advertising that their big stars like Charlotte Flair, Roman Reigns, and Becky Lynch will be part of SmackDown in October. But what about possibly the company's hottest act, Bray Wyatt? Recently, it was leaked that Bray Wyatt would be challenging the winner of this Sunday's match between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, who appears to be channeling Blue Steel in this new fighter image. Not only that, but The Fiend was challenging for the Universal Championship, a leak that has since been confirmed on TV, with Bray cutting Firefly Funhouse promos that The Fiend will go after Rollins or Braun at Hell in a Cell. Well, according to a new bit of advertising by WWE, we may now know who The Fiend will be facing next month at Hell in a Cell. Of course, this all could just be card subject to change, so take this with a pinch of salt. But if you do want to avoid potential spoilers, I would suggest clicking off now. Obviously, go and watch another WrestleTalk video or one of our Screenstalker videos, but we're about to head into the spoiler room brawl in 3, 2, 1. WWE are advertising for their upcoming house show on September 21st in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, a Universal Championship match between The Fiend and Seth Rollins. WWE posted a video that features Rollins cutting a promo on The Fiend. As we said, this is card subject to change, so do take it with a pinch of salt, but it does further the rumors that WWE have big plans for The Fiend. Find out more details on Impact Wrestling looking to buy Ring of Honor by clicking the video that's just appeared on screen. And check out mine and Ollie Davis's review of Ad Astra by watching the latest episode of Screen Stalker, which includes our theories that Disney tampered with the movie. I've been Luke Owen, and that were Mecha News.